James Stafford, otherwise known in the Calypso business as the SKYLARK. This year, didn't make it into the finals. A bad year for SKYLARK. SKYLARK, welcome to CultureShare. What happened?
Yeah, welcome, PYSADEE. Well, I mean, you know, the Calypso business is a serious thing, you know. And you know, so this year you might make it hot, and the next year you might come and you might struggle. But you know, in the Calypso business, timing is important, you know. And I think, well, one of the reasons my music was a bit late this year. But you never know what could happen next year, because I'm coming strong, right?
And what are the reasons for the lateness of the music?
Well, the main thing, I was in London. I was doing a couple of shows in London, and I usually do my recordings in New York. So by the time I finish my shows and I get over here, I had problems with studio in terms of booking, you know, and I was trying to fit into spaces, you know, getting 2 hours in the studio here and there. I had to run to Grenada to fit in a tent, and you know, the old up and down, it was a rush, you know. But
so by the time you got into Grenada, your record wasn't ready as yet?
It wasn't ready as yet. I got to leave it behind, and at the same time, I had nobody to really take care of it, because I really didn't have a manager this year. I managed myself this year. And you know, being in Grenada and your record is doing in New York, and you got to be calling on the phone and trying to get this done and trying to get this done. You know, it was really late, although it came out before Carnival, but you know, to get a real bounce and to get a pitch, especially in Grenada Carnival, you got to be in time.
Did that do anything with your confidence when you were performing in the tents?
No, it wasn't, you know, because, I mean, usually, I mean, like, you're performing in a tent in front of judges. I mean, it's not what they hear on the radio, it's what they're listening to, you know. So my confidence, everything was there. But again, you know, the history of Calypso judgment, you know, has something to do with the mental mind, you know.
Let's speak about the album now. How many tracks? Joni the Water Pumping, the Iron. One I heard you sing on the boat that went to Carriacou, that great Sunday.
Yeah.
It was a lot of action, and you came on in your glory doing some MC work and then coming on to sing, and it went on pretty well. You want to elaborate on that particular song and the rest of the album? Yeah,
well, first of all, to elaborate a little on that excursion. Every year, every Regatta Sunday, I usually do that excursion to Carriacou with a couple of Calypsonians, which usually does be fantastic. Because you have a chance to leave Grenada and go to Carriacou on the Sunday of Regatta, and overnight we'll come down like maybe 6 o'clock in the morning and have Monday, Tuesday at Rainbow City. So it gives you a full package of Rainbow City, Carriacou Regatta in one. Now, my album this year was entitled Perfect Plumbing. I got 4 tracks.
One second. I mean, knowing you, I mean, the kind of performer you are, I mean, just by saying perfect plumbing, it makes me laugh. I mean, where did you think of that name, Perfect Plumbing?
Well,
I mean, are you a plumber?
Not really, no. But I mean, like, first of all, to bring a Calypso, to put a Calypso together, it takes a lot of things. And, you know, it's almost impossible to explain, you know, how, but Calypso is something that is rooted in you. It's something that is within you, the culture is within you. And sometimes you're there, you might be walking, you might be swimming, you might be sleeping, and you just awake and you just get the vibes and a tempo coming you know, and you just get the groove at the time, and you put a Calypso together. But thinking of a topic is one of the most difficult things to do, getting the right topic.
So where were you when you thought of Perfect Plumbing?
Well, to tell you the truth, I was on a job, and I was looking at a plumber at his work, you know. And he was, I mean, by talking and asking his apprentice for different, you know, different parts in his plumbing job, like the elbows and the knees and the stoppers. You know, I realized that most of them was relating to the human body. So I decided, well, hey, this is a Calypso the man talking about, let's go. And I beat it right there.
And what about the other songs now?
Well, I have one called My Iron Is Mine. Next one called What Kind of World We're Living In. And another one called Poor Charlie. It's 4 songs on the track, you know.
Poor Charlie, I haven't heard about that one.
Yeah, Poor Charlie. Poor Charlie, you know, it's like, this Poor Charlie is relating to like a lady and a man who always challenging each other to go on a marathon, you know, racing. And they was having fun, drinking whiskey, rum, and, you know, arguing, and they decided to take a run, you know, a marathon. But as soon as the race started, Charlie fell down, you know. He was too drunk then.
Would I be correct in saying that you're a smutty Calypsonian?
Well, I wouldn't say so. Some people tend to put a calypso in whatever meaning they like. Sometimes you might be say, you know, run fast, your mother coming, and the people might say different. Sometimes you might say, well, it's a marathon, and I think it's some kind of different marathon you're talking about. So usually, I mean, people put things in different meaning. And to be a Calypsonian entertainer and to sing for people that they can enjoy themselves in a party, you gotta, you know, usually make your calypso flexible, double meaning, you know, because, you know, I'm a party type Calypsonian, you know. I like to sing for the people to enjoy themselves. So I usually try to put my lyrics, you know, flexible.
But there's also a serious side to SKYLARK, because I remember that you had Grenada One Love.
Yeah, well, in the midst of every pleasure, there must be some seriousness, you know. And I mean,
you sound like my father there.
Yeah. You see, at least.
Are you a father yet?
Well, I'm a father of over three.
3 children.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So I see where you. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like, you know, I can be. Don't matter that I would like to, you know, sing for the people to enjoy themselves, but as we just say, when the carnival over, you know, there gotta be something to be done, you know. So you must. On every album that I put out, I usually put at least one educative song, you know.
All right. SKYLARK, you're the only Grenadian Calypsonian I know who can stand up on stage and march while singing.
Maybe
I've been watching you, and you know,
yeah,
I know the other Calypsonians, I look at you, and you know, I said, you know, I mean, this guy is SKYLARK, is the only guy I know. I mean, I look at him singing, you understand, standing up, marching to the music.
Yeah, well, maybe there is a little bit of militariness in me, you know. That could be a point.
Oh, were you a soldier or something at some other time? At one time?
I think military is based on discipline, you know. Maybe I'm a disciplined Calypsonian, so to speak.
A disciplined Calypsonian?
Yeah.
Okay, I like that, disciplined Calypsonian. That's why you stand up and you march?
Yeah.
All right, only while standing. But at least it's something unique.
Yeah, I know.
In you.
I know.
Every performer, you know, has something that's theirs.
Yeah.
Would you say as a singer that your voice range is limited?
Well, everybody look at me as a Calypsonian with one of the most powerful voice. You know, like promoters and managers and people more into the music, they always, you know, compliment me on the depth of my voice. And I think, you know, I have no problem with my voice really in singing. I have no restriction to certain, you know. And once I'm flexible, I sing within like 4 keys.
Do you sometimes reach to a point where in a particular song, if you have an idea and you have a specific rhythm, and you would, you know, you're saying to yourself, you know, oh, that's a lovely pitch, but I don't think I can make that pitch. I mean, does that ever happen to you at times?
No, not really. I never experienced that. You see, it all depends on, you have to know yourself and what you can do. And you is the one that is putting the calypso together. So you have to know what range you can reach, you know. And the music follow the calypso. You see, it's not a matter of the music first and the calypso after, so you have to fight to reach the music. You know, you sing in a voice which is, at a pitch, sorry, which is more easy, more flexible for you, which you can handle or maneuver with advantage and leave room in case of little hoarseness or anything like that. Because I just be hoarse sometimes and I would sing my song the same thing. Because I try to be flexible and leave room for, you know, reversing.
Reversing forward or backwards?
Reversing.
You know, that's good. I tried to catch you there, but you caught me, right? You know, sometimes we have a tendency to say reversing backwards.
Yeah.
You were a spectator this year, so you had the opportunity to look at the Calypsonians and to ascertain in your own mind whether or not they were good or bad on stage. What are your impressions of the performances this year? Let's look at the March Gras first of all.
Well, my ideas on observation, I could make certain points towards observation. But as comments on decisions, I would not really touch too much of that topic. Being as a Calypsonian for myself, I don't really want to, create no judgment over judgment. But what I should say, I think that what impressed me, Wizard had a very good performance in his first tune. In terms of his presentation and his whole performance, it was A1. And was Squeezy that pulled him out. That presentation was super, very, very good. This shows a standard, it shows a level of Calypso in Grenada at this present stage. You sit down and you look at CultureShare after the carnival and you forget about the jumping up and the fun and you're taking what Grenada have to offer. I mean, you will see definitely that these two guys in particular was very good. What I admire about Ajambo is the way he relaxed himself on the stage. I think that's one thing that you can say about him. He relaxed himself, take it easy. But as I said, the Calypso in Grenada is rising and we're moving. And I know next year the guys are planning already and guys are ready for next year. And it will be rough. Next year will be a rough year in Grenada, I could tell you.
Right after the March Gras, there were Calypsonians I've heard in interviews, I've read, speaking about, who they think should be placed here, there, and everywhere. Do you think it's good for, you stated your own personal perspective on that, but do you think it's good for the culture that, as a performer, as an artist, that you should be get involved in making decisions of who you think should win or who should not win?
Well, the honest answer I could give to that is no. Because anything else would be contrary to my previous statement.
Okay, great. Right.